Chilling, scared, man. Downright horrifying, true horror story. I'm going to hurry up, man. Watching AEW, man. I thought that was my notification. Shit.
It was winter break 2015. I lived in a townhome about 10 minutes away from the college I attended. For the sake of context, I'm a female. I lived with 4 other girls I met during my first 2 years living in the campus dorms. All of them went back home for break, so I was left home alone. I had an internship that I had to stay in town for, which was fine by me. I enjoyed the peace and quiet. Plus, flights back home were wildly expensive during that time of year. The first couple weeks were fine. I actually got a lot of work done. But that's when things started getting weird. Back at the start of the previous semester, when I first moved into the place, in one of the townhomes across the street, we met a guy around the same age as us. I assumed he went to our same college, but looking back, I never actually asked him. He just kind of looked that age, so I kind of assumed he did. He always acted sort of creepy and awkward. He would often try to spark up conversations with us as we walked outside to our cars. A month into the semester, and he walked up to me, really nervous, and asked for my number. I already didn't like to give out my number to guys who asked for it, but I could tell it took him a lot of courage to ask, so I opted to give him my Snapchat username instead. He happily agreed, and I went on my way.
I hate stuck up, bitch.
A few days went by, and I was already starting to regret this decision. First of all, his Snap score was literally 0, meaning he had made the account for the sole purpose of adding me.
No cap.
I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt because he was new to the app, but some of the things he would send me were just downright inexcusably creepy. Like, he would send pictures of my bedroom window at night saying he was about to go on a late night run, or a picture of campus asking if I was in class and which building I was in. Anyway, fast forward back to winter break, and he was still sending snaps like this. What creeped me out the most was he picked up on the fact that I was home alone, because he kept sending pictures of just my car parked in front of our townhome.
You ain't called the police?
One night, I was asleep in my bed and was woken up to the Snapchat notification.
So dude has sent a picture of your window and everything, you still ain't told the police? Whatever happened, your fault. I'm tired of feeling bad for folks.
I reached for my phone on my nightstand and saw that it was him. I opened it. It was just a black screen. I was a bit annoyed and went to the chat to tell him not to send me snaps so late in the night. Right as I started typing, I heard a buzz. And when I sent the message, I heard another buzz. It was close to me. His Bitmoji popped up in the chat and he started typing. Sorry, I didn't mean to wake you up. I was still thinking about the perfectly timed buzzing sounds. I sent a chat saying, "Where are you?" His Bitmoji sat there for a full minute before he started to type something. He then stopped typing and left the chat. My heart began racing. I didn't know what to do. I wasn't sure if this was a good idea, but right then and there, I Snapchat video called him. Immediately, constant buzzing rang out from under my bed. I got up and ran out of my room toward the front door. From there, I sprinted.
What nigga on your bed, car?
To the nearest gas station, where out of breath, I told the on-duty cashier what had just happened. He called the cops for me. It took them 5 minutes to arrive, all the while I was spamming the Snapchat messages. They started out begging me not to call the police, but slowly got more and more aggressive with each one. In the last one, he threatened to kill me. I showed the cops, and they began searching the house. After a few minutes, they found him hiding in one of my roommate's closets.
You got Christian there.
They handcuffed him and took him out to the back seat of their patrol car. He was covered in sweat and shot multiple looks in my direction. I texted my roommates that night, and they agreed to canceling our lease early. Within the month, we all had moved into a house 25 minutes away. I don't know what ended up happening to the guy. I never kept up with his case. I've since stopped using Snapchat.
Frankly, every LGBTQ young person
can
thrive. So that's our goal.
We're trying to take this girl on a date.
What a day.
That's one thing we not finna do.
This happened to me when I was Snapchatting a friend. I'm only 14, a freshman in high school. My best friend Anna and I were Snapchatting back and forth one night while I was studying for a big test I had the next day. Our conversation was starting to get dry. She sent me a snap of herself in her room without a caption. I replied, ranting about the test I had tomorrow, saying how unprepared I was for it, and asked her what she was doing. She sent me a picture from a different angle, this time showing homework in front of her with the caption, "Yeah, well, at least you don't have a group project that we barely started on." I analyzed the photo a little longer, trying to see what class the homework was for. As I was doing so, I noticed something strange in the background. It looked like a shadowy figure was standing in the corner of her room. I quickly sent her a message asking if anyone else was in the room with her. She replied saying that she was home alone. I was starting to get really scared at this point, but I didn't want to alarm her, so I sent her another message saying that I had to focus up and go study for my test. Immediately, she opened it, but minutes went by and she didn't respond, which was pretty uncharacteristic of her. I started to worry.
This nigga Christian just, and he won the title? Christian hit that nigga in the head with a fucking camera. I had to pause it for the TNT belt. Oh my god, that nigga Christian just hit the hell out of that nigga with that camera. Oh my god.
That something was seriously wrong. I began regretting not screenshotting the snap so that I could have gotten a second look and proved that I was just overthinking the whole thing. I called her, but she didn't answer.
It ain't your title.
I sent a few more chats, but I still didn't get a response. I was really starting to panic, so I decided to go to her house and check on her. She lived only a 3-minute bike ride away. When I got there, I saw that most of the house lights were on. I called her again, but she still didn't answer. I was about to give up and go home when I noticed her bedroom window was slightly open. I grabbed a screwdriver I found lying on the ground and climbed up onto the roof where her bedroom window was. I looked inside her room, and that's when I saw the shadowy figure again standing in the corner. But this time it was closer to her bed. I knew I had to act fast, so I broke into her room and tackled the figure. It was an older man. He was much bigger than me, but I managed to jab the screwdriver into his left shoulder before he could overpower me. He screamed out in pain before diving back out of the window and down onto the lawn below, grabbing his left shoulder as he ran.
Yeah, these stories been crazy. I ain't gonna.
I looked around the room and realized Anna wasn't there. I yelled out to her and got a response from downstairs in the kitchen. I explained everything, and we both used her phone to call the police. Police located a blood trail and followed it a few yards down the sidewalk before it abruptly disappeared, suggesting the man got into a car. Anna said how after I told her I was going to study, she put her phone down and went downstairs to make some food, which explained why she didn't answer my calls. That's when, a few minutes later, she heard the commotion upstairs. It's horrible to think about, but I honestly wonder what would have happened if I never noticed the guy in her Snapchat.
She would have been dead.
A few nights ago, I was struggling to fall asleep and was getting extremely bored, so I pulled out Snapchat to pass some time. I was going through people's stories when I noticed someone added me. Now, if you've ever used Snapchat, you probably already know about the massive problem it has with bots. 9 times out of 10 when someone adds me, it's just some bot trying to scam me into sending in money one way or another.
Yeah, or females trying to sell me videos, or tell me to go subscribe to their OnlyFans, or yeah, and motherfuckers that with these fake ass tap in bank shits. Nah, bitch, I know how to do it.
I have no idea how they find my account, but somehow
I don't know how to do that. I was just playing.
The account had no Bitmoji, which immediately made me suspicious. I added it back as a friend and checked its snap score. Of course, it was low, meaning it was most definitely a bot.
And that's another thing too. I didn't say when he talked about. I think it was first when they were talking about Snapchat circle. 2 things if I don't add you. If I see you promote that shit on my Snapchat, you're not getting at it. If I see you showing your cat, you're not getting at it. If I see you ain't got even if you ain't got a bit emoji, if your bit emoji look ugly, or if you're Scolo, I'm not adding you. And I'm gonna watch the story first before I add it. So you better have your story better be private, or you ain't getting at it. I swear to God.
As I waited for it to send me a message, I started to wonder what would happen if I video called it. Like, would it just be a random call center, or would it be a black screen, or possibly a pre-recorded video? I was curious, and so I did. I called it. To my surprise, it answered immediately. My face showed up on the bottom of the screen, but on the other end was just someone's thumb pressed up against the camera. I could tell because it had a slight red hue for a couple seconds before going completely black.
That just make any fucking thing.
I started saying things like, hello, can you hear me, show me your face, things like that. It was silent for a few seconds, when from the call, I suddenly heard a blood-curdling scream. It sounded desperate. It was more of a in-pain type of scream rather than like a jump scare type scream. It scared me, so I ended the call. Seconds after, the account sent my full address and a picture of my Bitmoji on the snap map. I immediately regretted sharing my location on it and felt my stomach twist into knots.
I bet you did, my brother.
I grabbed a nearby baseball bat and set it at my side. I switched to Netflix to watch something that would get my mind off of it.
Yeah, okay.
Every time I heard a car drive by, I got out of bed and looked out the window.
I got some of the size of a bat, but
This went on for 30 minutes. That's when one of the cars stopped in front of the house. It was a black Toyota. Just then, I received a Snapchat from the account. It was purple, meaning it was a video. I didn't want to open it. I instead unadded the account. Before I could look back outside of the car, I heard tampering with the lock to the front door. After only a few seconds, I could hear the door open, followed by footsteps entering the home. I should have mentioned this already.
Whoever that, bro, some of y'all don't have common sense. All you would have had to do, bro, is screen record, and then when you click the video, it would have been recording, so you could see at least what it was. For one, and for two, for you could save it. And for three, you can go outside, and if you feel threatened, wait, hold on, he said he inside though, hold on.
Before I could look back outside of the car, I heard tampering with the lock to the front door. After only a few seconds, I could hear the door open, followed by footsteps entering the home. I should have mentioned this already, but I live alone. No one but me has a spare key. Whoever was in my house was someone that I didn't know. I locked my bedroom door and pushed my desk in front of it as quietly as I could. I called the police, and they told me to stay on the line with them until they arrived. I could hear the person walking around outside my room. A few seconds passed when the footsteps walked right up to my bedroom door. They stopped, and again I heard tampering with the lock. My heart was in my stomach. I thought about yelling out threats, but was instructed by the operator to stay quiet.
Where they at?
The lock disengaged.
Where they at?
The door was pushed, but the desk stopped it.
Where they at?
Finally, distant sirens could be heard, followed by sprinting footsteps back outside the house.
Just let everybody
I
know.
looked out the window and saw a hooded figure get inside the black Toyota and drive off. Police parked out front, and I unbarricaded my door to walk out and talk with them.
Just let everybody know.
They asked me a few questions, which I answered the best I could. They asked about the Snapchat account, so I went in to add it back. The video was still there, so we opened it. It was a video taken from inside a car, showing the front door of my house, confirming the account was owned by the intruder. The police thought it was a kidnapping attempt, that the person behind the account would add random people in the hopes that they add them back with their snap map location on.
Damn, I forgot about that.
I don't know if this has always been a thing, but this was the first time I had ever heard of accounts doing stuff like this. It made me seriously rethink all the bot accounts that I would add back on that app. I turned my snap map off and deleted the app off my phone. They were unable to trace the account back to anybody, so whoever it was is still out there.
Yeah, I was just finna say that. I forgot about the snap location. Y'all better turn y'all snap location off y'all shit too. Cause I dare bitch to pull up on me. But yeah, man, give it your thumbs up, like, subscribe, man. See y'all motherfuckers on the next video. Let's ride, nigga.